Matt Tilley entertained millions of Australians for over 20 years on most of the top radio stations in Melbourne. Fondly known for his sharp wit, keen sense of humour and creativity, Matt now uses these skills in a whole new way as CEO of MND. Chatting with Matt today, he shared how he came to be so successful, his connections with some incredible humans, including a Hollywood superstar, and what keeps him going when he's not feeling it. Well, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today. It's amazing to have you on, and actually very special because I think you know now, but you may not have known at the time. The first ever voiceover I did was with you and Bag at Fox FM Studios. And my memory of it
is way better than mine.
I'm so glad to hear that, because my memory of it is that it was kind of a little bit like pulling teeth. I was very enthusiastic, but I think it took the good hour to get what we needed out of it. And you and Bag were so incredibly patient with, let's just do that line again, or we'll just do but
yeah. It's a funny one, Jules, because I didn't know until you told me. I didn't remember. Obviously, I was there.
Yeah.
And beautiful Bag, who sadly we've lost. But he was a magnificent guy and also a great encouraging spirit and a creative legend and stuff. So it was always fun working with him. I'm like, would I? Oh, well, good. At least your recollection's good. At least you didn't go, you're a nightmare, arrogant and dismissive.
Far from it, actually. So I'm actually thrilled that you don't remember, because that, like I said, it means that maybe it wasn't quite as painful for you as it potentially could have been.
I would say this, that over the years, even some very famous people who we got in to do lines and stuff, who, you know, for example, say someone like Bill Lawry, the cricketer,
Yep.
cricket commentator, right?
Yeah.
You listen to him commentate, completely natural. Hand him a script to read in a booth and say, just be yourself, Bill, just like you are on the TV. Almost impossible. And you have to do it line by line. So you're in good company.
That is. Oh, that is so funny.
I don't know. It's just, you know, he's okay being himself, but then when that sort of like, I've got to be an actor as myself, it just didn't flow. And there was quite a few like that.
Yeah, right. So it just reiterates what an amazing skill you have, to having spent over 20 years in radio. And I know 16, I think, of those were at Fox FM, but you were also on Triple M and Kiss. Like, that's incredible.
Well, that's what happens. You fall through the cracks till eventually there's no stations left. Trying to think what that kids game is. Kaplunk, I guess, in a way.
But honestly, that is testament to how talented you were and you are, and you know,
that's a lovely way for you to put it, but there's a lot of other things that come into it, of which luck is a significant amount, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, well,
and the people you work with. And luck can be not only how it goes for you, but also the luck of the people you get to work with and whose sort of sphere of influence you come under. So
yeah,
I'll certainly put that in there.
Well, I appreciate that too, but still. Now, look, even during your time on radio, I know that you were using your voice to contribute to all sorts of charities through proceeds from your Gotcha CDs, and there were women's and children's charities. And did that influence like your move into the non-profit sector?
Yeah. And I think it's what brought it about in a way. And it wasn't it wasn't a deliberate life plan or anything. So I think, to be honest about it, I got paid pretty well in radio. So I used to, I don't know, I'm not Catholic, but I had some sort of guilt that I probably need to give a bit back. Yeah. So I would often host charity nights. They're always looking for MCs, charities and stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go and do that for free, and I can feel good about, how I really just get paid for talking in the rest of my life. And then, as that went on, and you always meet people and you're inspired by incredible little organisations that people devote themselves to. And at the time when we were making a bit of money and we thought we might launch a couple of these CDs, I also realised that that's pretty good radio and it's a good feel-good moment. We weren't being saints. We thought that there was good entertainment value in it as well, and feel good and loyalty from your audience and all those things you're striving for. So, and then as that was happening and we made decisions to, I think one of the CDs, we made a rule that we would only give it money to charities where $10,000 would blow their minds.
Yeah.
Whereas,
awesome.
if you think of something like the Flying Doctors or the Salvos, they all need money, but $10,000 is really just is pocket change for the resources they need. And that's when I really started to meet some incredible people, ended up on a couple of boards, and just sort of rolled from there.
That's very cool, isn't it? It's an amazing feeling, and I'm with you. I feel like there's this sense of not obligation, but just as a human, when you start giving back, I think kind of that's what our purpose is also, is to be, bringing something more to this life than just selfish takeaways.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm not sure I am completely altruistic. Like,
Me neither.
there has to be a degree,
Yeah.
I've got to be really honest about this and go, well, yeah, sure, doors open because other doors are closing. And, I'd been in radio a long time. And I think, you get a sense when your time is up or when new things are better than you or, I'm like that. We get sick of the same flavors. We get sick of the same music. So I just wanted to be really cognizant of that. I didn't want to be that guy who was still trying to be a radio person at Sunday morning on a community station. Not that I don't disrespect that. I just thought probably better to try something else.
Yeah, but it was interesting. You did choose to go into something that is completely benevolent. It's pretty amazing what you do. What is the hope for you when being part of this MND and being the CEO? Like, what impact is it you're wanting to have?
Oh, I just want to Order of Australia. I think would look cool on my email soon.
Fair enough.
No, not at all. And also, I have quite strong feelings about people who get those things for just doing their job, and I am paid to do my job. So it's I don't know. It's a good question, Jules. I don't know where I really have just fallen into things and gone, this seems like fun, or this seems worthwhile, or I enjoy trying to be better at this, so I'll just keep doing that. There is no grand plan or end point in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. So looking back on your career, though, I want to know, and I know we kind of touched on this earlier because you said, you attributed luck a little bit to it, but what do you think it was that set you apart? Why were you so successful? And again, you're really successful, but even in this space, you're the CEO. Like, what is it about you that's made you, have so much luck?
I guess it depends who you ask. People mightn't see it that way at all. Why did he need to go into the charity world? What did he do wrong in radio?
But you can't refute the 20 years of, you were like top radio station for like 13 years at Fox FM.
Yeah. Well, I do contribute to luck. I contribute to working with great teams. Like, I'm not a successful stand-up comedian who just does it on his own. I was always a part of really good teams and great people and beautiful friends. Our connection with someone like Sammy Kavanagh.
Yeah, he's divine.
Amazing person, stellar success in radio as well. So I think the move in the orbits of those people, you're really lucky. Like, we found this young kid called Hamish Blake to be our street guy. Like, so
I remember that.
That is luck to some degree, and is also the great people you can surround yourself with. But also, I don't know. I guess I was just being me. And so it wasn't that hard, and I didn't have to fake anything and be new. And you go back to a world where you do funny voices and impersonations and characters. Really, I just grew up being that person. So when I was regaling a story to my mates, you jump into the voice of the teacher or this and that. I don't think that's unusual. I think a lot of people do that. For some reason, there was just this moment in time where radio was going from sort of writing sketches and, boom-tish comedy stuff to a bit more telling funny stories, being relatable, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time with that little skill set. And, it's not as good as being a surgeon or a chippy, but it worked for that moment in time. So, and it was fun.
Some would argue you have more impact because you were, entertaining millions of people in the morning shows. But so did you have a desire before getting into radio that's what you wanted to do? Like, was that a career goal or anything?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I kind of I think when you're at school, if you had half a brain, and I reckon I had half a brain, if you were math science, you'd be a doctor. If you were humanities, you'd be a lawyer. So I trundled off into law school, but I did love drama and stuff at school, and I loved sport. I didn't really fit into any box. I wasn't any sort of great thespian, but, I was in all the school plays. I wasn't great at footy, but God, I loved it. So I'd done that. And then when I got to uni, I was sort of fell into the Melbourne Uni Review with someone called Kate Blanchett. You might have heard of her.
Oh my gosh, I have. Yes, I love Kate.
So that's my big claim to fame moment.
Yes.
And
Amazing.
I even back then, so talented. We're all just kind of like, oh my God, none of us as good as her. So I must have had some instinct to be that performer. And I had at school thought, oh, could I be an actor? But I never knew what to do with my hands. So it's true. And I was like,
radio.
All right. So I didn't plan to go into radio. Someone just saw me giving a 21st speech, and it's an old, well-worn story. But it wasn't my thing. I didn't really know what commercial radio was. I grew up in a house where Dad just played ABC FM all day, and it just someone must have seen something in me more than I was driven to have a career. Okay. I think that's what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way.
No, that's what a great story, Kate Blanchett. My God, that's amazing. So would you, have you got a number? Are you still friends?
No, I haven't. It was interestingly, so another guy who was in this production that we did at Melbourne Uni was a guy called Paul Boucher, and I'll never forget once going to the Jam Factory studios to see a movie Kate was in, and he was selling tickets, and I'm like, wow, look at us and look at her. You're selling tickets, I'm buying tickets, and she's in it.
Oh, yeah, she's phenomenal. Wow. Okay, so
very smart, very talented.
You've been at the top of your game for a long time. You still are. Like, do you have to then, is there anything you do on a daily basis that keeps you sharp or keeps you in, being the best version of yourself?
Wish I had an answer for that, Jules. Okay. And I think what I do is I just steal from other people. And use their answers. So a guy he's actually the deputy chair here at Vitamin D, and he's very smart and revered. And he says that the trick is just keep showing up, just turn up.
Yep.
And I was like, I could see how some people are like, well, of course you turn up. But I'm like, no, I get it. At those times we go, you know what, I don't think I can do this, or I can't be stuffed doing this. Just keep turning up. And I guess, getting up at 3:45 in the morning, there is a lot of that. I always used to think there's heaps of people more talented than me who just can't do it.
Yeah.
They prefer to go out drinking at night, and they're great stand-ups and this and that. So I reckon there's a bit of that. What's it called? Is it grit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Grit is
so I
a
reckon
huge one.
That's probably a fair bit of it. So I'm like, oh, well, what I don't have in other areas, I'll use that. Yeah. Maybe. And here, it is. It's pretty new for me, Jules. This is to go from zero to CEO in a very short period of time in the not-for-profit space. I get it. It's unusual, but then I also go, there's a whole lot of life skills that go into any job where you're trying to, be the boss or lead people. That doesn't necessarily come in from being in that sector all your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And they say that about this next generation, that how many times they're going to change careers, and it's about uni is kind of, you learn skills, but what the job skills you learn are the ones that are going to be most relevant, when you in the new spaces. Thank you for joining me today for this incredible interview with Matt. Make sure you hit follow on the show so you don't miss part 2 of this interview. In the next episode, Matt explains his definition of success and what it is that sets him apart.